Exclusive. Well, it's not from the football terrace, it's exclusive. But Nco Williams has begun initial talks to renew his contract. Athletic Bilbao party discussing salary pushing to 10 million euros, and a release clause could increase should a deal be agreed. A big target of yours. We're going to get into the Šeško in the Gyökeres conversation, but a lot of the sort of transfer news at the minute surrounding Arsenal, Potsy, is triggering a lot of gooners.
Yeah, it's worrying a lot of Arsenal fans because we've all got PTSD, and we all know that the transfer windows have never been kind to us, right? In terms of what we want or expect. Well, not all the fans. Some of the section of the fan base will lap anything up that we do, right? But Nco Williams, there's something about this deal that I just don't think it's going to happen. It just seems that whenever people are mentioned or he's mentioned alongside a move, it goes a bit cold water thrown over it. They're now saying that he might stay. I don't think he's unhappy at Athletic Bilbao. I don't think he's ever wanted to try and push for a move. His release clause has been there, and there's been no real rumours of him leaving, Athletic because he's unhappy. So I know Real Madrid and Barcelona were interested last season. It doesn't look like they're interested this season. And Chelsea and Arsenal are both favourites to get him. But if he's going to stay at Athletic Madrid, I just think we need to just forget about this, if I'm honest with you, and move on. I don't think the Nco Williams move would be a wise one for us. I don't think it's one that I look at and go, right, now Arsenal are ready. I don't think LB, Man City fans and Liverpool fans will be sat there going, cool, yeah, that's a proper signing. That's taking Arsenal to the next level. I think he's another player who's a young 20-odd-year-old who's going to be a good player one day. I don't know if he's ready now to come in and light the Premier League up. I think he lit the Euros up and he was great, but if I'm honest with you, I don't know a Spain player that didn't play well in that tournament. They were absolutely outstanding as a collective, as a team. So maybe in better team and better players around him, Nco Williams will go to the next level, but I don't look at him right now currently and think that he's a massive upgrade on Trossard or Martinelli, and that's what I want to see coming in at Arsenal. Someone who's like, boom, Trossard and Martinelli, they're nowhere near the team now because we've got Rodrigo or, whoever it be. I think Ademola Lookman would be a better signing than Nco Williams for both Arsenal and Chelsea. I really do. And I don't think this one excites me. Whether he stays or goes, I don't know. I know that obviously Barcelona and Real Madrid were looking at him and they've seemed to have gone quiet on that front now. So that kind of says it all, really. I think that he's probably going to end up staying, if I'm honest. I don't know what you guys think.
I don't know. I don't think this is the right signing again. Other than Zubimendi, yeah, your other two that you're going for in Šeško and this guy, I don't think these are the right players. I think, again, you go in Chelsea vibe projects. Yeah, give us a couple of years. Let us develop the players. Yeah, I just don't think this is the right one, man. I think you've got to go for players that are more experienced. Yeah, maybe 25 years old, maybe in and around that age. This guy's 22. Yeah, never played in the Prem. I just don't think this is the right fit. I think Arsenal make a mistake, man. I can't lie. I like the Zubimendi signing. I think that's a good signing. But Šeško and Williams, if that's true, yeah, but nah, I don't think you win the league. I think between Liverpool and City again.
Well, on the Šeško thing, I was looking at this earlier on today, and it was a comment made by the Gunner blog, a Gunner blog that's really respected by a lot of Arsenal fans. And this is what it said. It said that Arsenal have explored the parameters of deals for Gyökeres and Šeško. Arsenal's leadership group have debated the merits of both. If they have made a clear decision on their preference, they are keeping it close to their chest. If it's to be Šeško, RB Leipzig would prefer the early sale. Having missed out on Champions League qualification, there's a financial shortfall at Leipzig to meet. Gyökeres, however, will be the cheaper overall package. So Gunner blog trying to make it sound as though there hasn't been a decision. There have been other reports, though, and Plattenberg has just tweeted now that Arsenal have entered into concrete negotiations with Leipzig over Benjamin Šeško. He says that Arsenal are the only team in direct contact with Leipzig. Man United have shown an interest but have not yet made contact. There's been no confirmation outside of the sort of Portuguese and South American press of any of anything of contact with Sporting. So, I mean, where's your head at with it, Potsy? When you read, I know sometimes we as fans have to try and dissect the transfer news. What's your gut saying? Is your gut saying we're in for Šeško?
Yeah, Yeah, unfortunately, I don't want Sesko. I want Gyökeres because I think he's less of a risk. I think he's a bagsman who's doing it now and he's ready now. Sesko's stats are not impressive, if I'm honest. I don't look at him in the Bundesliga and think, wow, I think there's 9 or maybe even 10 footballers in the Bundesliga that scored more goals than him. And I need an out-and-out goal scorer in this Arsenal setup. Now, I'm not worried about Arsenal, what they look like in 5 years' time or 3 years' time. I've had enough of waiting. I've had enough of processes. I've had enough of waiting 5 years without a trophy before we go bang. Let's go bang now. Let's not wait another 5 years for Sesko to get to 25, 26, whatever it's going to be, where he starts the age of Gyökeres now. Just go and get Gyökeres. I'm not saying Sesko is going to be a flop. I'm not saying Sesko is not going to be an upgrade on Havertz. I'm not saying that Sesko will not score any goals at Arsenal.
Is Sesko taking you to the Premier League? That's the question that Arsenal fans need to be asking, yeah? Because you've not won the Premier League in 20 years. You finished second 3 years in a row. Is Sesko taking Arsenal to the Prem?
Not for me.
Don't sign him then. Go and get someone else.
We've got to get Gyökeres, haven't we? He's the only one. There's only Isak and Gyökeres that I think are the least amount of risk. Sesko would be a risk. Jonathan David would be a risk. Hugo Ekitike would be a risk. Liam Delap would be a risk. None of those, Mateta, none of these players, João Pedro, would be guaranteed to give Arsenal across the line. And let's be real, even if we sign Gyökeres, we still need more than that.
You know what, Dan? Yeah, funny enough, yeah. I actually think Osimhen suits Arsenal the most out of all clubs.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
I think I spoke to you about this. Did I speak to you about this the other day? Because Arsenal, they dominate the ball. Yeah, they can get on top of you, yeah, and pin the opposition in the penalty area. And Osimhen is a brilliant box striker. Yeah, and he's great. He's good in the air as well, not wasteful in the air. And I think in that situation, having Saka just spam crosses in the box for him, I think you should go and get Osimhen, man. But this Sesko thing, bro, you think Liverpool fans are worried?
No.
You think Liverpool fans are sitting there going, fuck no, Arsenal signing Sesko? They're not worried, man. They don't care about Arsenal signing Sesko. Yeah, but if you was just going to get Osimhen, who's just scored 37 goals, they go, oh, damn, that's crazy. Osimhen scored more goals this year than Sesko scored, what, in the last 3 years combined? 2 years? Come on, man. Again, I just don't know.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
Why do Arsenal do this, man? I don't know why they do this. They go and sign all these projects, all these young players, and then we'll go next year. We'll get to the end of next year. He'll probably score about 14, 15 goals, and then because Arsenal don't win anything again, they'll go, right, 1 more year. Sesko's on his first year. He needed a year to bed in. 2026, 2027 will be the season that Sesko's ready. Everyone's ready, and this will be the year. And then you won't win anything that year. And it'll just go on and on and on and on.
The reason that this suits the narrative for Arsenal fans and Arsenal and Arteta as well is because Havertz, their beloved Havertz, will still get game time. And he can rotate him with Sesko because he might not quite be ready for first team football the whole time. Whereas with Gyökeres, well, we know where Havertz is playing on the bench, right? So that's the other thing I've got with it. And then, like you've just said, Sesko is basically an excuse to say, well, hang on a minute, give him time. He's only had 1 year. He's only 22. I don't want any of this crap, man. Like, let's just be real. I'm done with waiting. I've waited a hell of a long time. Yeah, I've waited too long for a trophy, let alone a Premier League trophy. I've waited too long for an FA Cup in 5 years, other than another domestic trophy, the League Cup, and anything in Europe. So when people say that you're entitled and you're just moaning and just get on with it, man, it's time to deliver. It's time to win. If he doesn't win something this year, I want him gone already, but he definitely will go. So the pressure is on. And Sesko is his signing. He wants Sesko. Berta is trying to get us towards Gyökeres from what we understand, but Arteta wants Sesko. Arteta wanted Mendy. Arteta wants Nco Williams. If they're the 3 players we're going to get that we've just spoken about, yeah, Arteta's got nowhere to hide. So for me, Gyökeres has to be the guy. It's probably going to be Sesko. Rodrigo has to be the winger. It's probably going to be Gittins or Williams or one of those guys. Yeah, I want an Eze or a Bayano or somebody in that middle that's going to be a creative spark. We're probably just going to be, Ethan Nwaneri and Erdegaard. So I need to see these players that are coming across the line that I'm going, we're looking ready. Because Liverpool ain't mucking about, people. Yeah. Kirkez and Frimpong look like they're coming in first. Looks like it's getting done. They are going to get a number 9 from what we understand if Núñez goes. They ain't mucking around. There's links with Adam Wharton as well going to Liverpool, which were loose rumours last week. Liverpool do that, and I think City and Arsenal are just going to just go, well, let's just see if we can win a trophy then, innit? Because they're going back to back. Because what City are doing, like, real talk, Livramento and Nori ain't going to guarantee them the league. They're going to upgrade on what they've got, but they ain't like, wow.
Livramento, Nori, yeah. Reinders, Rodri coming back in. We can challenge for that Prem 100%.
And Cherky, innit? Ryan Cherky.
Oh yeah, Cherky as well. Cherky baller, innit? Yeah. Yeah, that's that we can challenge. Yeah.
There was also, I mean, I've just been reading it while you guys are talking as well. I mean, what Mendy has said, again, I understand it because there's talk about medicals and stuff. And this is what he said today in an interview on his future. He says, of course, there are options, but it's true that it seems like it's going to be a different long summer, and I don't know how it will end. I don't think thinking about that right now is my priority. I'm here with the national team, which I think is already quite demanding. And if you say something, then I will. Then then it will make it worse. He then goes on to say, talking about undergoing a medical at Arsenal, he says it's an example of what surrounds football. Many times I wake up in the morning and read things that I didn't know I had done. That was a clear example. It's true that I don't take it very seriously, but anyway, I uploaded those photos to emphasize a little that I wasn't exactly the reality that was happening. Now, there's been obviously big reports, here we goes, from Fabrizio and the David Ornsteins, that this deal is going to happen, Sammy McBell. But the player's saying this. How are you taking it? Is the journalists have lied and it isn't as down as it is, or is it just a player who, until it's official, isn't going to disrespect Sociedad and wants to focus on international duty? Like, how are you taking that, Potsy?
So I think it's the latter. I mean, I don't know what the guy's waffling about, if I'm honest. It looked sort of a complete mess of everything he was saying. It doesn't look good, and it gives a lot of the rival fans a lot of laughter if he ends up going to Real Madrid and he rejects Liverpool and Arsenal. If I'm honest with you, I'm going to believe what I'm told are the most reliable sources out there in Romano, Sammy Mockbell, and Ornstein. That's what you have to do in this game because they know more than me. They've told everybody this is done. If it doesn't happen, the three of them are clowns because they look idiots, don't they? Because they've come out with here we goes and they've gone out with this, that, and the third. It's going to be absolutely embarrassing for them three, right? And people that don't like them three are going to go absolutely in on them, right? So it ain't going to look good. Mendy has to happen because we've been told it's here we go. It's been told in January it was a done deal and it's going to happen. If it doesn't, wow, like, let's be real, it's not going to look good for those journalists. But Real Madrid, when they come, look, if this was like Lazio were looking at him as well, or maybe it was even AC Milan are looking at him as well, I wouldn't be so worried. But because it's Real Madrid, because he loves and is obsessed with Xabi Alonso, and we heard that, which is why he was linked with, from Sociedad to Liverpool in the first place, because if Xabi Alonso is his absolute idol. Real Madrid, he's there. Xabi, could happen. I'm not saying it won't, but I'd like to think that the amount of people that have said it's here we go and it's done, that it's there. I will say this, and people might think I'm now going, oh, that's just because he's been with Real Madrid. I would rather get Gyökeres than Mendy. I'll put it out there. If we don't get Mendy, I ain't going to cry about it because we've got Partey and Rice. So I'm not like,
Partey leaving. I thought Partey was leaving.
Well, they're trying to sign him up for a new deal so that he stays at Arsenal. So they want Partey and Rice to be the kind of, well, they want Partey and Mendy to be the sixes and Rice and someone else to be the box-to-box, right? So that's what the idea of it moving forward is. If Partey goes, you could argue we've downgraded in that position.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Mendy could be your best signing this summer, yeah, but actually downgrading that position, which is kind of mad when you think about it, isn't it?
Well, I don't think he's better than Partey personally.
No, I don't think he is. I don't think he is either.
Nah. So I think Partey needs to stay. Mendy would be a good signing. I'm not saying he wouldn't, but it's not the exciting one. Gyökeres for me is the one we need, man. Sesko, Mendy, and Williams. Does that win Arsenal the league? Not in my opinion. Not in my opinion. I don't think Man City and Liverpool, and we can bring in Chelsea and Newcastle and others if you want. We'll all be looking at that going, I ain't catching Arsenal. They've just signed Sesko and Mendy and Williams. They're gone to their next level. Them. That's them. That's the title gone to them. I don't think it would, but could be wrong.